we're here to celebrate the completion and opening of Indiana Avenue between 8th and 10th Street. This is the second year of a kind of a 2-year program in the neighborhood. We did the sister project 1 block to the west last year, Franklin Avenue, in very similar fashion. And this 2-year program was just a wonderful project, we think, anyways, upgrading the facilities in this neighborhood, and we're really excited how it turned out. What initially drove this project were a series of water main breaks. Over the course of the last decade, Indiana Avenue itself had approximately 6 water main breaks. So we knew it was time to replace that water main. It was initially put in 1946, so it was 70 years old. The street was similarly probably close to that age, and we knew it was time for us to not continually look at making repairs. It was time to invest in something new and better. And then we got to looking at the project just to replace the water main. We were going to interrupt a lot of the street. We were going to disrupt a lot of the street and tear a lot of the street out just to replace the water main. So we started looking at the project as a whole and to improve all of the infrastructure here. And it really gave us an opportunity then to look at the street from a holistic standpoint to better maybe serve the public, the pedestrian traffic, a little more user-friendly, if you might call it. This was, maybe you might call a little bit on the edge of light industrial through here, and we like to think now it kind of maybe fits a little more on a retail. And we're very excited about how it turned out, and that opportunity for us to look at this corridor to make it really softer, gentler for the pedestrian. There's a lot of pedestrian traffic in this area. Besides all the upgraded water main, that's what really drove the project. We did sanitary sewer repairs on the project. The private utilities used this opportunity to upgrade some gas services, for example, were included in that. We have all new asphalt surfacing that you can see, new curb gutter, new sidewalk. Everything out here is new sidewalk. New LED street lighting, which is kind of a new feature in Sioux Falls, and we're really pleased how that turned out, and far more efficient lighting. We added some trees and streetscaping to the project to kind of soften the neighborhood a little bit, and we're excited about how that turned out on both of these streets. And then we added diagonal parking was instituted on the corridors here, and really added to the capacity for the amount of parking that were allowed here. And I think most of the businesses and adjacent properties were excited about that. Asphalt Surfacing Company, probably better known as ASCO in the community, was the prime contractor for the project, and the work commenced on May 12th, and it was completed in almost exactly 2 months' time. And the work was completed 10 days ahead of the contract schedule, which allowed ASCO to earn $30,000 in incentive pay, and that was the maximum that was allowed by contract on this project. We really need to thank some people on this project. In Infrastructure Design Group, led by Chad Hanish and Phil Gumbelson and all their team members. And I'm not going to name them all here today, but this was over 2 years in planning to get this street and Franklin Avenue built, and they just did a wonderful job of working with the neighborhood. And believe me, the first draft that went on paper isn't what you see here today. It took a lot of changes, and coordinating and minimizing the impact to the businesses was really always their top goal. I'd like to recognize Shane Balk, our project manager. Shane, he's kind of the glue that keeps everything together, keeps us informed down at City Hall what's going on, and keeps the public informed, connects with the business owners and property owners here. And I just want to recognize Shane for a great job out here. Of course, I want to thank ASCO and all their subcontractors on the project. They kept this project as a priority, and as can be seen, we're done ahead of schedule. But most importantly, we want to thank the business owners and the property owners out here. Without their cooperation, this project is not a success, no matter how hard we try or how nice it looks when we're done. And you know, they endured things like water shutoffs. And you know, when you replace a water main, you take it out. Obviously, there's going to be times where the water is shut off on the to the businesses, and anybody who doesn't have a toilet or a sink or drinking fountain, you know, has to endure that, and that's really painful. But I'd like to talk a little bit about the full closure, because in conjunction and agreement with the property owners, we really, with the full closure, probably were able to do this project in half the amount of time that maybe partial closure or staging the contract might have been. And they still would have been impacted at some point in time anyways, but this turned a potentially 4-month project into a 2-month project, and we're just really excited to be able to work with the property owners, and they did such a great job, and we really felt like this was a team sort of thing, and that was always the approach that we tried to take. So with that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Swenson, one of the adjacent property owners and business owners at Handyman. So for a few comments, thank you.
Yeah, the project went really well. Eric and Chad from infrastructure design coordinated well with us. We got to look at the plans ahead of time, make some suggestions. We didn't get everything we wanted, but it worked out pretty good. And the lighting is going to be important at night. I'd just like to thank everybody. It went smooth.
I'd like to introduce one other property owner, Mr. Matt Luke. He's got a couple words he'd like to add, and we'll go from there.
So as a property owner in the area, I really appreciate the project getting done quickly and efficiently, and I encourage other businesses and other patrons to come this way, come down to the farther east, and just experience the businesses and the growth, such as Ellefson here in the area, one of our tenants, and just appreciate the project getting done, getting in and out fast so that we can open the street back up, get the parking expanded, and really start expanding downtown east if possible. So